Hey guys, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty, and I'm going to be doing a different type of video. I do these once in a while, but I only do these kind of videos when they're really interesting to me, and this is one of those. As Chris Evans backs Anthony Mackie in response to speculation that he'll reprise his Marvel role, as Sam Wilson as Captain America. So let's jump into this and check it out. Alright, before we go too in depth in this, I just want to give you my honest opinion. First, this is by Aaron Donnelly on Yahoo, just so we cite the source here. But anyway, I am a big Falcon fan. I'm a Sam Wilson fan. I have action figures right in my office here, pictures of him and everything. So before you go into the hate train and call me racist and everything else, I am been a Sam Wilson fan for a very long time. Now, I do prefer Sam Wilson as the Falcon, just to be aware of that. And I think that overall they've done the character a bit of an injustice. Now hear me out first, okay? Is you look at, nobody cared about the Falcon hardly. I loved him from the Captain America comic books. I'm a big fan of him that way. And I thought he was awesome in the movie as Falcon, and they really, I think, should have springboarded him further as the Falcon character, and they could have done a lot. Now, I understand that maybe Chris Evans, stepping out, they wanted to fill that role, and I think that's a logical way to go, and okay. Now, here's the thing, though. I think they've got to avoid all the extra wokeness of it, and I know that Marvel has a big tendency to step into that and make it all about it. Don't make it about that. I think your best move is to ignore that stuff and write a good superhero story. Ignore that stuff. He's a good actor. I think he can pull it off, but just don't go into the social commentary. You're going to turn a lot of people off. So let's read what's going on here. It says Marvel Cinematic Universe may not be big enough for two Captain Americas, and Chris Evans is more than happy to hand off his shield. Just so you know, they've done this before in the comics, and the first time they did it, I didn't think they did a very good job. It was too social filled with trying to spew viewpoints and political topics, and I understand it's Captain America and you can have that in there, okay, but bear that in mind. But they overdo it. Once again, when you put that stuff above a good story, then you have problems. Now, and they're redoing it again now in the Marvel comic books as well. If you didn't know, there's a Steve Rogers Captain America book and a Sam Wilson's Captain America book. I'm not a big fan of diluting characters and having three characters run around with the same name, with rare exception. People love to throw Green Lantern. It's a police force. It makes sense. The Flash family is also a little bit different too, because it's a family kind of an affair. So it makes a little more sense. I'm not a big fan of it with Spider-Man. We have too many Spider-Mans running around. It dilutes the character. But once again, that's an opinion. And you're allowed to have a different one too. So be free to share your opinions, but just be logical, please, and show a little character, not just spewing hate. Okay, please bear that in mind. So it says, on Saturday, the actor who played the original Captain America, Steve Rogers, which, just bear with me, he did for 2011 to 2019, made it clear in a tweet that Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson, by the way, this actor Chris Evans loves to throw political commentary in, just for the record, and it didn't do him very well for Buzz Lightyear. So anyway, made it clear in a tweet that Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson, who can now rightfully claim the title, the character once known as Falcon, took on the Captain America mantle during last year's Disney Plus series, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is true. Okay, bear that in mind. Once again, though, as I said, Chris Evans is not... he's not an aficionado probably in the character on top of that, but he's also known for a long time to be he's very social commentary on Twitter, and he likes to stir up crap, and he's very leftist. Sam Wilson is Captain America, Evans 41 tweeted in response to the Hollywood Reporter's post speculating as to whether he would reprise his role in the fourth Captain America film that filmmaker Julia Zona is set to direct, with Mackie starring, if the question of who is entitled to carry the shield continues, all bets are off, the publication mused. And just so you know, they could have done this in a lot of different ways. They could have recasted somebody as Captain America Steve Rogers. With all the multiverse and going back in time, they could have had a different actor do this, and even made a little joke on it that he's It looks different. But now with that said, if they want to go forward this way in the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Anthony Mackie, which I'm not necessarily against, don't get me wrong. If you do a good movie and don't make it everything in your face about a political agenda, let's go with it. But if you make it about a political agenda, then there's going to be a problem. Let's continue. I really am interested to see the comments below in this, by the way. In addition to backing Mackie, Wilson Evans' tweet also seemed to suggest that he won't make an appearance in the latest installment co-written by Falcon and the Winter Soldier head writer, here's the thing, Malcolm Spiegelman. And that's what bugs me a little bit, and a lot of people, is because this Falcon and Winter Soldier had a lot of potential, but they went overboard in the social commentary. And I think we fear that they're going to do that in the movie too. So once again here, as you see here, this tweet here, it is unclear from the Hollywood Reporter, but Chris Evans said Sam Wilson is Captain America. Once again, he is not the end-all, be-all for Marvel, just so you know, but he's probably right in this regard that that's going to happen. The tweet has also divided Marvel fans, many of whom are ready to accept Wilson as the new Captain America, and others who refuse to see anyone other than Evans as Steve Rogers in that role. Now, the bad thing I see about this is, because people that love Steve Rogers, like myself, if we don't want to see anybody else in the role of Captain America, you're automatically going to be called a racist. It's just what's going to happen, even if you're not. It might be because you love the character, and maybe also on top of that, you ready for this? You love Sam Wilson as the Falcon, because there are some of us like me out there that love Sam Wilson as the Falcon. And see, by putting him in as Captain America, it's like giving him a temp job and patting him on the back. You're taking an opportunity for the character to have his most popular moment ever in history, an important prominent black superhero, and then you're giving him a temp job instead of using this as a platform to boost him as the character he already is. So instead of calling people racist all the time and jump to that, maybe consider that might be an option as well. I'm one of those. I think this would have been an opportunity. They could have changed his costume. They could have still given him a shield, but made him Falcon and really took his time to boost another character. But this is where Marvel tends to go wrong, and they're lazy. They know by shoehorning another character in another character's name, they can get easier marketing. It gets an instant response, and that drums up attention. And it's lazy and easier just to do, and it's less risk. Rather than sticking a ton of money into a Falcon movie, they can stick money into a Captain America movie, and it's going to already have a bigger audience. So it is, they're playing it safe that way, but they're failing to grow their characters that way as well. And they're using diversity as a marketing tool. And I think that's the shameful part. They act like they care about diversity, but really what they're just doing is using it as a marketing tool. Because if they really cared before, why haven't they promoted this character more? Or a lot of other diverse characters? It's bullcrap, people. It is bullcrap. Sad to say. And here we go. This, we're going to see a commenter responded. Notice I don't mention the name. This is the sexiest thing you've ever tweeted. Once again, they're going for that full woke. He has spoken. So all of you can stop questioning if and accept the new Captain America, Sam Wilson, as he's going to do a fantastic job, wrote another fan. You notice that they're going to try to push that agenda. And granted, he might do a great job, just so you know. Chris has passed the torch, which I love the typing here, period. End of story. Read another tweet. So just notice that if somebody says something they want, all of a sudden it's fact, it's the best thing on earth. Let's be a little rational here. The pro Evans Rogers contingent, meanwhile, left comments like, you are Captain America, bro, and no, no, and no. It's you. Now, how is that necessarily a bad thing? They're just saying, we love this person representing Captain America and how they played it. Because Chris Evans did a good job on Captain America. The Lightyear star opened up on Yahoo Entertainment by, Lightyear star, it failed, my bad, last month about moving on from his Marvel role and supporting Mackie as a new Captain America. And that's the whole thing. I think he's moving on from that, and so he's trying to help promote. No one better to do it, Evans shared. I mean, he does it justice, and I'm so proud of him, and I can't wait to see what they do in the future with it. That said, Evans did admit that leaving Cap behind has been somewhat bittersweet. It's different, the actor shared. For 10 years, you've always had a movie around the corner. For 10 years, you finish one, your life is scheduled by, okay, in 6 months we have to press, 6 months we have to start next movie, right? And he's got a point. to kind of have open waters. There are parts of it that are nice, and there are parts of it that I really, really miss because it was a role that meant a lot to me, and I love those people, and it'll be the best 10 years of my professional life without any question forever. Now here's the thing. This is what I think might be interesting. If this movie comes out and bombs, will he come back to the role? Will Chris Evans come back to the role if it bombs? I don't know if it's going to bomb. I know, here's the thing I don't like about it though. I know there's going to be a main push for Falcon as him because he's black, and that's the only reason. Not because he's a cool character, Sam Wilson, that's been developed over years, because he's black. And it's disingenuous and it's sad. He happens to be black. He's a cool character that happens to be black. Don't make it all about him being black. That's the mistake right there. I know it's an easy writing opportunity for a story, but avoid being easy and write him a good story. Exceed expectations. Don't meet expectations of, okay, it's going to be a story about him being black and Captain America. Instead, exceed that. Have it be a story about him being Captain America that happens to be black. And have a good story. Let's work on that. So let's read what some of these comments are here. It says, the collective says Tim Allen is Buzz Lightyear. Well, and that's true. And because let's be honest, this Buzz Lightyear failed in that movie. But I haven't watched it. I can't say it's a negative movie. I recognize that Marvel's trying to update their iconic characters while offering audiences a more diverse line of heroes. But I can't just bring myself to watch this happen. Female Thors, female Hulks, a black Captain America. Sorry, but I'm 66, and these were the characters of my youth. I can't accept it. Some visions are too deeply ingrained for any overlayer of tolerance or acceptance to penetrate. Now let's think about that. 66 years old. This is a lifelong fan then. Now the female Thors, I understand that. No, people can argue that, but Thor was his name. That was a pretty lame series, and I can argue on the Thor being different Thors, and that in a different video if you ever like. Female Hulks, they made a She-Hulk for rights reasons, not necessarily against an interesting character. A black Captain America, once again, I don't mind seeing Sam Wilson as the next Captain America, just as long as we're not being disingenuous and rude and denouncing and pushing down Steve Rogers to get there. It's fine if you want to tap out to stay in the past. See, that's sort of a half decent, half smack in the face, saying you're old. You don't have to accept it. You can live in the bubble of the past. See, in your bubble of the past. See how they're doing that? Now here's the thing. You don't have to live in a bubble of your past. You can make diverse characters and heroes without replacing current ones. And you can use the current ones to help boost them up. This is where, once again, Marvel fails. But see, these are the way that people try to act like, oh, you're just a dinosaur and you don't understand. No, these are the people who have kept Marvel alive. 66 years, long-time fan. We ought to consider that. We have to keep our past fans as well as grow new ones. Yawn. When the comics went PC, I tuned out. Now that the movies are doing the same, I'll save my money not having to buy those inflated theater tickets. Now let's see what the replies are. I've done the same. There's still a ton of old material, comics and movies that I haven't seen or read that's all sitting there waiting, ready to tide me over until this horrid fad fades away. And that's the thing. That's what gets me. This is most likely a fad, people. I hate to say it. And that's why I say it's disingenuous to the Falcon character. Because a character that I've liked for many, many, many years. I mean, we're talking over like 40 years, over 40 years, and this is gonna delude the Falcon character. Oh, Falcon, yeah, he was Captain America. Well, what about how cool he was when he was Falcon? So it's PC for the Falcon to take over Captain America. What's PC about it? See, here we're playing stupid now. Yeah, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It's cultural appropriation, same as Nick Fury. Let's see the reply to that. I bet you think you're clever. That's cute. See, once again, he's got a point. It was. If you know the Nick Fury story, a lot of these people haven't even read the comics, have no clue about who Nick Fury was, not Marcus Fury. And see, this is, once again, we're getting right into that rudeness there. Has anyone else noticed that day-old tacos get hard overnight? If left in the fridge, that must be the same stuff, science stuff that I can explain. I don't understand what the point of that is. I was a huge comic book reader and fan throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I stopped reading them at a certain point in the late 90s due to the fact that the prices were going up so much and there was less and less pages per comic. I did continue to pay attention to what was happening in the comic book world after that, though. I did read the Avengers somewhat, but never really got into Captain America as I found him and the storyline boring. Ouch! I do somewhat remember when Marvel tried out having a black Captain in the comics, though, and how badly it bombed, so people shouldn't act like this is a whole new idea. It's got a valid point. Comic book movies have never really done justice to the actual comic book storylines and characters. Some of those movies were at least entertaining, though. The Avengers movies being some of them. The saddest thing is that comics and comic book movies were and / are supposed to be, you ready, an escape from reality for most of the fans. Bravo on that one. And with all this wokeness being forced down our throats in every facet of life, it would be nice to have something to escape from it with. Honestly. In all of my years of reading comics / collecting comics, I never once met a black person at the comic racks of a comic shop. Go figure. Now, I disagree there. I have met many wonderful black people at the comic shop, but I don't ever actually, I've never heard them clamoring. And just be honest, an actual comic fan, never heard them clamoring saying, yeah, get rid of Steve Rogers. I've never heard that, actually. I've heard him applaud Sam Wilson as Captain America, but I haven't heard him ever say get rid of Steve Rogers. Interesting take. Move to a city. Any city, you'll see black, Hispanic, Asian, mixed comic readers and sorts. Yeah, I agree there. Being woke, yeah, I'm not half dead. I like those who follow the path of dinosaurs. Okay. Considering black folks only make up 15% of the population or less, it only makes sense that you'd encounter fewer. And that's true, too. You'd encounter fewer in comic shops. And you will encounter fewer still. That's just a fact. There was an entire TV show dedicated to making clear that Sam would be Captain America. We don't need Chris Evans' confirmation. Bravo, that is 100% true. This is Chris Evans, once again, virtue signaling for attention. And he actually does more damage, I think, than good at this point, because he's separating fans. True, but I like Chris showing his support for Anthony anyway. He's always a class act. I would not say he's always a class act. Read his tweets, he's far from it. Apparently the Hollywood Reporter did. Mackie is going to destroy this. He's an off choice. I disagree with that. I disagree with. I think he's a good actor. I think he's a great Falcon. It's up to the writing. He's unwatchable and has zero charisma. Disagree again. So many better choices if you want a black Captain America. He's a disaster. They'll see the mistake at the box office numbers and tell the tale. I predict he's recast after one film. I don't know. Marvel likes to double down. But what you might see is probably the last film of him as Captain America. It'll probably be an ensemble cast. But once again, I do not blame him at all. I think Anthony Mackie's a good actor. And I think he makes a great Falcon. And he could make a good Captain America, Sam Wilson Captain America, if, and that's if, the writing is good. So there's my thought, is the writing has to be good. But that's the problem. Do you trust it? You know, I think we're going to stop there. If you want to read more of these, go ahead. But I think we're getting it. There's a back and forth here, and it's not all race like people want to make it. I think a lot of people love Steve Rogers as Captain America. Some people like Falcon of character, like myself, and we want to see Falcon be pushed forward. We don't hate Sam Wilson Captain America. Now, some do. There are some racists out there and things that do. I'm not one of those. I picture the MCU as a separate entity, to be fair. Would I want to see more Steve Rogers Captain America in the movies? Absolutely, I do. Don't get me wrong there. But I would like to see more Falcon, too, as well. Maybe give him a shield and have them work together and have a wonderful, awesome movie. But if that's not the route they're going to do, and they're going to write a good Captain America movie with Anthony Mackie, I'm all for it. But that is the thing. I fear that they won't write it good, and it'll be garbage, and it'll be all woke agenda. But that's my thoughts. I want to know what your thoughts. What do you think? Is this movie going to bomb? Is this movie going to be good? Is it going to be written well, or is it going to be a woke agenda, marketing and on, because I'm a black Captain America, which I once again think it's a missed opportunity to build character on character, not on their color. Talk about racism. If you're marketing based on the color of somebody's skin, who's the real racist here? Think about that. He should be Captain America because of his character, not because of his color. But that's my thoughts, not yours. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. I greatly appreciate you taking time to watch this. Hopefully you didn't just watch 2 minutes and automatically call me a racist and other things that are just not true. And, you know, because some people do that. I look forward to otherwise reading your comments. Like, subscribe, notification bell. We have a Patreon as well as a subscribe star. And if you want to help use just one time, there's a link down below for a Streamlabs link where you can just do a one-time donation. Those really help this channel and us going forward. Thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, keep it frugal.